Welcome to the Sanity Project podcast, where you can awaken your mind to clarity and success even in today's life challenges. We're here to provide insights and solutions that will help you live a sane, healthy, and prosperous life. Here's your host, Joanne Victoria.
Hello, everybody. This is Joanne Victoria, the host of the Sanity Project podcast. Just to let you know again and again, you are here to discover a life of clarity, confidence, and success. And today's guest helps us stay on that track. Her name is Krista Ripma. Krista Ripma is a marketing coach, launch strategist, and co-founder of Authentic Audience, a full-service digital marketing and ad agency dedicated to serving brands who foster the best in self-care, self-love, and self-expression. Authentic Audience is the natural progression of Krista's previous successes in building million-plus Instagram followings, tripling online awareness and engagement for her brands, and coaching hundreds of seasoned and novice business owners to find and speak their truth. She was recently featured in Entrepreneur Magazine and Forbes and is the host of the Authentic Audience podcast. Welcome to the show, Krista Ripma.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
I am happy that you're here because your topic, what you do, how you do it, is, as we discussed pre-recording, certainly in alignment with what my audience expects. But also, it's just nice to see you doing something like that it's out there. And
I love that. Yeah, thank you. It's nice when that alignment happens. It makes it more fun.
Yeah, it's just nice to know. And everybody, I know you're going, oh, authentic, who knows? AuthenticAudience.co. That's where you can go right away if you don't want to listen and you want to put this on pause. Or you can find Krista at Krista, Krista, at AuthenticAudience.co. I put that up front because some people just don't have the patience to wait. So we have some topics we're going to talk about today. Krista has presented some things, and I've chosen some of her presentations. And one I like is how to transform your business by putting authenticity at the center of your brand. And I think that people have a difficult time doing that because they think that, no, I'm a business, so I have to be different than who I truly am. And do you find that in some of your clients, they don't know how to be with their brand?
Yes. It's a big topic that we're always constantly trying to bring people back to, is their authentic truths and their authentic selves. And when I started this company a few years ago, I was hoping that authenticity would be the thing that drove success for a lot of my clients, but I didn't actually know. It was just a very strong moral, I guess, is the right way, or focus or key point in the business that I was doing, because it's just the way I live. And turns out authenticity wins over and over again. So the more that we can bring ourselves, our purpose, our mission, our unique gifts into what it is we're creating and selling, what I found is the better it does.
Yeah, we're all here for a reason. And we all, even though there's a 360-degree circle, I think it's more than 360 degrees personally, because there has to be room for all of us. And I think that people now are wanting something that appeals to their heart and their soul, not just their pocketbook. And they have to stay true to who they truly are in order to remain in business. Otherwise, they'll get discouraged and go away and take a job, God forbid. But I mean, they'll do something that it's not their calling. Right. And yes, so you're a full service digital marketing and ad agency. When you say digital marketing, what do you mean by that?
All things online. So digital marketing is social media. I do organic strategies as well as paid. So, paid includes Google, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Yelp, etc. And then there's organic strategies that go with all of those as well. In addition, content, big on content creation, and email marketing. I'm a huge fan of email marketing as a digital marketing strategy. So basically anything outward facing. We obviously start on our calls with the inward facing stuff, but the work that I create is outward facing. So what your audience sees and how they connect with you.
Yes, with all of the websites out there and all of the business people online, and more so than ever now during this pandemic, and I don't think I'm going to mention that word again, it must be difficult to see your head come up above the water. How do you help your clients stay alive?
Yeah, I try. The biggest thing that I ask people to do is stop comparing themselves to what other people are doing. I think we're just such a comparison culture, and moving online. So many people are moving online right now, and it's actually made that a lot worse. The good news is it's something that we all do. It's totally universal, and everyone is always comparing themselves all the time. And when we can stop doing that and truly just focus on what we're doing and what our business is asking of us, that's something I have my clients do a lot, is actually separate themselves from their business. So oftentimes as entrepreneurs or solopreneurs, we really start to attach our value and our worth and our success to our business and our identity. And our business is actually a separate energy and a separate identity. No matter how involved we are, it is not us. And so when we can actually start to be in service to our business, what our business is asking of us, and remove our egos a little bit, it becomes a lot clearer the directions that we need to go. And people oftentimes are like, oh, how do I do it? The market is so saturated. And I mean, I work in marketing. I mean, talk about saturated. There's like millions of people out there that are in marketing, but nobody's me, and nobody communicates and delivers it and creates strategies and connects with their audiences in the exact same way that I do. And so that goes back to the authenticity, is if you can really focus on what makes you unique and what makes you you and your why and your purpose and the transformation that you're creating for people, or the pain points and problems that your business is solving, and stick to that, and how to connect, reach, engage, and sell to the people that are out there looking for you right now. I mean, chances are really likely that you have something that people need. And what I do is just help connect you in an authentic and honest way to the people that are already out there looking for you, and stop selling and wasting time, energy, and money on people who are never going to buy in the first place.
That's so true. It's like, again, ice to Eskimos. It's challenging today. And I think that people who don't have their boundaries clear on just putting their eyes forward and keeping the blinders on as to what they are here for, why did God put them on this earth, whatever God they believe in, why are they here? And if you, in speaking with the prospect who's soon to become a client, is able to help them identify that, then they're home. Then they're safe.
So much. Yeah, so much of it is that. And, so many people joke. I love that you bring that into it, because I am deeply spiritual, and I bring that into my work, my intuition, my spiritual practice. It's just always a part of who I am. And my bigger purpose here is not to be in marketing. It's to remind people who they really are. And I think when you can do that, when I can do that with my clients, and you see that little light bulb go off, and they remember, oh, this is why I'm here. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is how I'm supposed to be connecting. Then it becomes a lot easier to market them and implement my strategies and all of that stuff. So the mindset work, the authenticity work, the resistance work, that comes first. And then the strategy becomes a lot easier to implement.
Absolutely. Yes, their mind has to be focused on, as you say, who they are, why they are here on this planet. And a lot of people, I find, past and present, have had a difficult time to thinking that they're special enough to even contribute to this planet.
I do. I find that too. The unworthiness, or the not good enough, or the imposter syndrome. Yes. All of these are just different forms of resistance that we face within our egos. And that's why I come back to this idea of separating yourself from your business, because if you have a spiritual practice, or have ever just, volunteered, the act of being in service to is so easy to flow in. When you are just in service, creating, building, helping, supporting somebody else, it becomes so much easier to make decisions and stay focused. And so the more we can actually be in service to our business, it becomes less about, oh my gosh, I have so many emails to answer today, or how am I ever going to get 5 people to sign up? And it turns into, oh, today, the best way to be in service to my business is create that post and share that thing or promote that thing or get through my emails, because that's the best way I can be in service today. And it just changes the mindset and the psychology of like what we're doing on a day-to-day basis.
Yes, you change what they consider the mundane or something that's in their way that they have to kick out of the way to a high-value activity.
Yes. Oh, I love the way you said that. Totally.
Okay. You can use it.
I might steal that.
That's okay. Yeah, high value. When I tell people to deal only in high value activities and in their business because they have goals and they want to reach something and they want to attain something, but they need a plan to get there. And if part of their plan is just to focus on the good stuff, high value stuff, as opposed to the crap stuff, or their definition of the high value as crap, as you say, they're faced with all of these emails that they have to respond to, but you reframe for them. And I'm explaining this to some in our audience who may not be aware of the context of what we're talking about, but you reframe the language for them so they can look at it as how they're contributing to their business.
Yeah. And being in service too. And it's just such a beautiful way of looking at things. And then, abundance and being able to celebrate our wins and actually set goals that we can achieve. What a concept. It all becomes so much easier. But it's that mindset stuff is you can't fake it, So that's a lot of what I do focus on, because marketing strategies, I do sales funnels. I'm in sales and I create marketing strategies for people to connect with their audience at the end of the day. Nurture sequence. Nothing I'm doing is rocket science or new information. But I think the way in which we're getting our clients to post and share, the intention is there, and that matters.
So what type of clients do you like? What type of people do you prefer to work with? I mean, I'm looking at this and I have some of my clients who are kind of stuck right now because they're in sales and selling. I mean, I could probably sell most anything. You could probably sell most anything. But if people are just in sales, they don't know how to expand their view, to have a broader view of what they're looking at to sell something to people without seeing the person.
Yeah, I think that that's a big topic, and I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of what I do is sales coaching. I say like I'm an intuitive sales coach, because the seller's mindset is a huge, huge topic. I even teach a whole piece of my course on the seller's mindset because it's so important. And I think when we're in sales and we're not actually seeing the person, it can feel disconnected, or like we're just talking to the ethers and we're not actually connecting with somebody on the other end of that screen. And so even though it's digital and even though it's online, I invite you to really envision that you are speaking to somebody right now, you and I. It's not just me and you. There's people listening. There's people we're talking to, serving, connecting with, engaging with in this moment. And when you're in sales, it's such a beautiful opportunity to build a relationship and to build a connection and to solve somebody's problem. And if they're not right for whatever it is that you're selling, my biggest thing is just stop selling to them and stop wasting your time, because chances are there's hundreds and maybe thousands of people out there that are right and are looking for you. And so finding those people is marketing, and then selling to those people is sales. And when it comes to sales, if you have something that you do believe in, that you are invested in, that you believe is going to enhance somebody's quality of life, make their life more convenient, easier, whatever it is, transform their life in some way, and you don't make the sale, I believe that you've in fact failed that person, because they're missing out on whatever amazingness you have to offer. So you really have to believe that you have something amazing to offer and sell, and then convincing the other person, the other buyer, that you can solve their problem and that this is right for them, is the second half of it, and equally as important. And for me, whenever I go into a sales call, you are right, I do pride myself in my ability to sell anything, but it's about building a relationship. It's about seeing somebody. People just want to feel seen. And you can do that via the internet, via emails, via social media. The more specific we get in who we're talking to, you'll read a post or you'll see an ad and you'll feel like, oh my gosh, they nailed it. Like they got me. I say that all the time. I say I've been got because I felt seen. I felt like they were talking to me. This thing was created for me. And of course I'm going to swipe up and buy this thing. And I actually like knowing when I'm in a sales sequence because I'm very aware that I've been got, and I applaud them for speaking to my needs, to my pain points, to whatever it is that I'm looking for. So my other advice, if you are in sales, is get really, really clear on who you're talking to. I know I'm not the first one to say this, but I actually have my clients write a letter to their dream customer or dream client. Why you're here, what problems you solve, your prayer for them, your hope for them if they use your service. And then whenever you are selling, talking, writing, posting, sharing, you're talking to someone. And it's amazing that how easy and quickly that person will start to show up.
There you go. That clarity gets in the ether, and the fingers that are floating around in the ether come and grab it and then redistribute it to the people who need you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And to answer your previous question, who I like working with is I really just love working with anybody that's passionate and excited about what they're doing, because that makes my life a lot easier. My clientele is a lot of entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, small business owners, healers, artists, musicians, writers, just people that are inspiring me and oftentimes lack the seller's mindset. They have something incredible to sell, to put out there, and they just don't have a strategy or mindset to get it in front of people who need it. And it's pretty fun because that's where I come in and get to create that. And together we reach their ideal audience.
Okay. I take notes because I have to write. So when you're talking about the right mindset and you talked about how to overcome resistance, do you think the clarity that the seller, i.e. your clients, have is something that could help them overcome resistance in the buyer? Or is it you're teaching them the techniques on how to become, how to be a better seller? I mean, there's a balance there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when it comes to resistance, the way I think about it is what we were talking about before. So you said, it's a lot of times difficult for people to stay true to their authentic selves, to not focus on what other people are doing, all of these things that really get in the way of our purpose. And so when you feel resistance, there's a great book. I'm sure many of your listeners have read it, The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. He talks a lot about this idea of resistance, and how we overcome it is we actually don't. It's a daily practice of sitting with it. And for me, I actually believe that when resistance is present, that equals authenticity, because our resistance comes from our ego. Our ego wants us to fail. Our ego wants us to feel self-doubt. And when our soul's purpose, when a big mission, a powerful idea is coming through, our ego wants to just tap it down, put that flame out, put that fire out.
Crush it.
Exactly. With everything it's got. And so for me, the bigger the resistance, it means the more you have to do the thing. And I see resistance as a sign that I'm on the right path. So I just launched a course this summer. I've been so resistant to launching this thing. It's taken me almost a year to get it off the ground. I mean, it's way easier to launch, build, create other people's brands and products than it is my own. And so I suffer when it comes to what everyone suffers from when it's about building my own courses or launches. We all have this. But for me, I let that resistance fuel me and notice it, become aware of it, where it's showing up, and where the resistance is the strongest. That's actually the area that I choose to focus on. And I work with my clients on that too. So actually seeing resistance as a good sign, as a sign that you're on the right track, and it's buckle up because you're on for the ride. I talk about having morning coffee with resistance. It's if you're doing something that is aligned with your real calling, then I believe resistance is going to be there trying to drag you down every step of the way.
Especially if as time goes by, you get more and more clarity, and then the resistance gods come in and they say, no, you're not going to do it.
Totally.
Yeah. The closer you get, the harder it becomes. Even though it should be easier, it would be like, I've gone through that this year myself, and the war of art is always within hand's reach for me.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. I love his stuff. I love his simplicity because it's pretty much the way I write. And simple, direct to the point, probably more so than him, but he is strong, and I admire that. And when I tell certain people I know, have you read? And they go, no, I never heard of him. And I go, something's missing here. So I'll say, just get the book. Buy it.
It's part of my suggested reading for like every course I put out there, is I want people to come having read it. And what's great is the Audible version, he actually reads himself, and it's such a quick read. So there's really no excuse to not be able to read it, except resistance.
Yeah, I know. That's what I find, that people, when I first read it, I had some resistance in some, specific things, like, what the hell is he talking about? And then I go, oh, okay. I talk to myself even when I'm reading, or in my mind, same thing. But it was like, oh, aha, yes, more clarity, because clarity is something I strive for. Clarity and focus at the same time, because I think it's important. And based on our conversation today, I think you look for clarity as well within yourself, and with your clients and with their clients. So what would you tell someone who is listening here today? What first step would you tell them to take? Maybe they could call you directly, but say they have questions about how do they become authentic in their work? How do they trust their intuition, and how can they change their mindset? Pick one. I'll let you pick one.
That's great. I love those questions. Okay, so you don't need me to do any of these things. Obviously, you are welcome to reach out to me. I love communicating and connecting with people, but the first thing is to do what I said earlier, and that's actually separate yourself from your business and sit down and have a real conversation with your business, and get really clear on what your business is asking of you. So that's the first thing. What does my business need me to do? The second thing is write down these 4 questions. Who are you? What do you do? Why does it matter? And what's in it for me, your customer or future client? And if you can answer those 4 questions, and over and over again, those are the first 4 questions I ask anybody. Who are you? What do you do? Why does it matter? And what's in it for me, the customer? And getting really, really clear, again, with clarity. I love that focus of this call. On those things is going to help you pull out your mission statement from your website, your purpose, what you're doing, how you're serving, how you're helping, what's in it for your customers, what pain points you're solving. And then lastly, I want you to write down your gifts. And your gifts being what you walk into a room with, what you bring to your business, what you bring to your relationships, your friendships. You have some gifts. What would your best friend say your gifts are, or your partner, or your parents? What would they say about you? And these gifts, figuring out a way to bring them into your business, to use them to the best of your ability, and come back to those questions over and over again. That is like I used to work in Hollywood, and you'd get those like one-liners or like one-pagers for a script. And that's all you had to read. And if all I had to read about your business was, who are you? And I mean you, your person, not your business, but who are you? What do you do? Why does it matter? And what's in it for me? That's what I care about. And that's what I want to learn about. We are a conscious consumer culture. We care where our money is going. I've seen time and time again, authenticity win, the truth sells. And the clearer you can get on your truth, on your purpose, on your mission, and what your gifts are, and being able to shout them from the rooftops. These are my gifts, and here's what I'm here to do, and here's the problem I'm going to solve for you. It just becomes way more easy to market and sell and connect, engage, nurture, all of those beautiful things that come with having a business.
There you go, people. Everybody knows that I always advise people to listen to a podcast twice, because the first time you're missing things, and the second time is when you start taking notes. You can find Krista Ripma at authenticaudience.co or Krista at authenticaudience.co for email, and her links, Instagram, LinkedIn, and her business LinkedIn will be part of the page here on my website. And it's Krista Ripma all the way. And I want to thank Krista for being here today. She's been an outstanding guest, providing the audience who will go to Apple and give her a 5-star review and say some great things about her podcast, as well as the Sanity Project podcast itself. I want to thank everybody for listening, and I want to thank Krista for being here. And do you have anything, a final word or two, or did you say enough for today, Krista?
I think we got it all. I appreciate your questions, and I appreciate your listeners, and thank you for creating a space to have these conversations.
Well, I'm grateful that Rory, give him my thanks, followed up, because you're a great guest and it's timely, very timely information. Okay, everybody, have a great day. Talk soon. Come back.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Sanity Project podcast. Please go to AskJoanneVictoria.com to listen to more podcasts. Check out Joanne's coaching programs and get a free copy of her report, 5 Steps to Achieve Life-Work Harmony. That's AskJoanneVictoria.com. Take care, and thanks for being here.